Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're looking at a powerful decision made by Burkina Faso's president, Ibrahim Traoré. In a time when many politicians increased their own benefits, Traoré did the opposite. He reduced the salaries of all ministers and parliamentarians by 30%. This bold step is not just about numbers, it's about setting an example of leadership through sacrifice. It's a move that has caught the attention of citizens across Africa and beyond, and it's forcing people to ask, what should true leadership look like? Stay with me as we explore why this decision matters, what it means for the people of Burkina Faso, and how it could shape the future of African politics. 1. The decision. President Ibrahim Traoré made headlines when he officially announced a 30% reduction in the salaries of all ministers and members of parliament in Burkina Faso. This wasn't a campaign promise. It was a direct action, implemented during his time in office, with immediate effect. In a political climate where government officials are often the highest paid, this move shocked many. But for Traoré, the message was clear. Public service is not a path to wealth, it's a duty to serve the people. This decision came at a time when the nation was facing economic challenges, widespread insecurity, and a growing demand from citizens for more accountability and leadership. By cutting salaries at the top, Traoré aimed to reduce government waste, rebuild public trust, and redirect funds toward essential sectors like healthcare, education, and agriculture. It wasn't just symbolic. The salary reduction also set a tone that no one in power should be above sacrifice, especially when the people they serve are struggling. 2. Why it matters. Cutting the salaries of ministers and parliamentarians by 30% isn't just a financial adjustment, it's a statement of values. Here's why this decision matters so deeply for Burkina Faso and beyond. 1. Restoring public trust. In many countries, citizens feel disconnected from their leaders. Extravagant salaries and privileges widen that gap. Traoré's move shows that leadership should mean service, not self-enrichment. It sends a strong message. We're in this together. 2. Redirecting national wealth. The money saved doesn't vanish. It gets redirected to where it's needed most. More resources can now go toward healthcare, education, agriculture, and rural development, areas that directly impact the daily lives of Burkinabe citizens. 3. Inspiring a culture of sacrifice. When the top levels of government led by example, it creates a ripple effect. Civil servants, police, and even youth leaders begin to see public service as a duty, not a luxury. It redefines what honor and patriotism look like. 4. Challenging the status quo in Africa. Across the continent, people are watching. Traoré's decision challenges the norm of politics as a gateway to wealth. It raises the bar and puts pressure on other leaders to follow suit. 5. Strengthening national unity. In a country facing economic and security challenges, unity is vital. A leader who is willing to sacrifice comforts for the good of the people becomes a symbol of hope, and that can bring a nation together. 3. Global context. President Ibrahim Traoré's decision to cut the salaries of ministers and parliamentarians by 30% stands out on the global stage as a rare and courageous act. Around the world, political leaders often resist salary cuts, and in many cases, government officials enjoy privileges far beyond the average citizen's reach. Here's why Traoré's move is so significant globally. A rare example of leadership by sacrifice. While some leaders increase their own pay during tough economic times, Traoré chose the opposite path. Showing true commitment to his people. Contrasting political elites worldwide. In many countries, politicians face criticism for high salaries, corruption, and disconnect from everyday struggles. Traoré's decision challenges this norm by prioritizing the nation's needs over personal gain. Inspiring emerging democracies. For young democracies and developing nations, this kind of leadership sets a new standard. It proves that ethical governance and accountability are possible even amid hardship. Part of a growing global movement. Across Africa and beyond, citizens are demanding more transparency and fairness from their governments. Traoré's action aligns with this wave of reform and can motivate similar decisions elsewhere. International reactions. This bold step has drawn attention from international media, human rights groups, and political analysts who see it as a refreshing break from typical politics. By making such a strong statement, Burkina Faso under Traoré is not just transforming itself but also contributing to a wider conversation about what good governance truly means in the 21st century. 4. Impact so far. Since President Ibrahim Traoré implemented the 30% salary cut for ministers and parliamentarians, the effects have been noticeable across Burkina Faso. Increased public trust. Citizens have expressed renewed faith in their government. Seeing leaders take a pay cut while public services improve builds a stronger connection between the people and their representatives. More resources for key sectors. The funds saved from salary reductions have been redirected to vital areas such as healthcare, education, and agriculture, improving infrastructure, expanding access, and supporting local communities. Boosted morale among civil servants. Civil servants and public workers, whose salaries were increased under Traoré's reforms, feel more valued and motivated, knowing that leadership is sharing the burden of sacrifice. Encouraged political accountability. This move has raised expectations for transparency and responsibility across government institutions, creating pressure for further reforms. Inspiration for youth and future leaders. Young people in Burkina Faso see a new model of leadership, one based on humility, responsibility, and service, which encourages greater political engagement and hope for the future. Regional attention. Neighboring countries and African leaders are observing this decision closely, potentially setting the stage for similar reforms elsewhere on the continent. While challenges remain, Traoré's salary cut is proving to be more than just a financial adjustment. It's reshaping the relationship between government and citizens and redefining what leadership can be. 5. What's next? President Ibrahim Traoré's bold salary cut is just the beginning of a larger vision for Burkina Faso. Looking ahead, several key questions and opportunities arise. Will other leaders follow? Traoré has set a powerful example. The challenge now is whether other African leaders, and governments worldwide, will adopt similar reforms to prioritize their people over personal gain. Further economic reforms. The savings from salary cuts could pave the way for deeper economic restructuring, investing more in local industries, agriculture, and infrastructure to build a self-reliant nation. Strengthening governance and accountability. Building on this momentum, there may be more policies aimed at fighting corruption, improving transparency, and ensuring public officials truly serve the interests of citizens. Empowering the people. Continued focus on education, health, and social programs will help empower Burkinabe citizens to actively participate in their country's development. Navigating regional challenges. Burkina Faso faces ongoing security and political challenges. How Traoré's administration balances these with reform efforts will shape the country's future stability and growth. Ultimately, this decision is a step toward redefining leadership, not just in Burkina Faso, but across Africa and beyond. The world will be watching closely to see how this story unfolds. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to smash that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories like this. Your support means everything and helps us bring you the latest on leaders who are changing the game. Stay tuned, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.